Also, notably, if you look at Chuck's teeth, he doesn't appear to have, you know, like all canines or something. Those are like all molars. Which is like, what, like, does Chuck only eat salads? Like, is that what's happening right now? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Sunday night viewer games. I'm tired. It was a very eventful weekend. I had a few tournaments of my own. We had Monster of the Week. I got some new stuff in, including a new toy. There's a lot of stuff going on. We had the great debate about matchmaking. I'm tired, chat. Tired. And I got a lot of stuff I got to do this week, like this coming week. Got tournaments coming up, so the streaming schedule is going to be a little weird, at least hopefully, because that means I'm doing well in the tournaments. If I'm leaving early, then that means I'm not doing well. We'll see how things go. Next Friday, like the day that this will go live on YouTube, I expect I will not be streaming because there is a tournament that's going on Friday evening, and there's just a snowball's chance in hell that I will get back at a reasonable hour in order to stream. So I'm going to miss at least one day next week. Saturday could be up for grabs depending on how things go, but we'll see. What's going on, chat? Hope your weekend was more relaxing and rejuvenating than mine, although I did have fun. It was definitely fun. Learned a lot of things gameplay-wise for Star Wars Unlimited. That is my current card game of choice, physical card game. And yeah, it's definitely fun. It's very much a set one meta, though. Set one being there just aren't enough cards to, like... There's some seemingly pretty hard rock, paper, scissors relationships. We'll see. We'll see. But we're going to talk about some viewer games, chat. Just talk about viewer games, and as we get into it, I, of course, have to let everybody know I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. Just letting everybody know ahead of time. Let's take a look at them games. Ooh, we have a meager 21 games in the queue. Paltry. Jesus, there's one going back to March 29th. There's no world in which they, like, I think there were patches that broke that. So we'll see. We will begin with this game, if I can find it. Oh, already? Come on, we were doing so good with this. We were doing so doing so good. Don Tinkle. The notes were, okay, first Akira was a test drive. This one is the better one. I'm not used to such power level yet. Well, that one is lost to the annals of time. Womp. Wah. So instead, I have a feeling we will have one that will be on the profile. Let's see. Ah, there we are. Karst is going to lead it off here. We're going to switch gears. By gears, I mean scenes. So what were the notes on this one? For anyone who thinks Xylo is a problem because of Akira, I did my best to find ways to push on the heart before the late game, and we ended up both going with Akira. Oh, good lord. There's so much here. Hold on, please. Will ended up going with Akira, me because I had no response to his. Without Akira, this match would have gone on so much longer, trying to demonstrate the need for more contestable panic points on Xylo, maybe also -1 vault. -1 vault for each player. So, like, I'm not sure what karst means there. I'm going to presume that that means instead of having 4 spawn points, you only have one, or 4 total spawn points, you only have 2, 1 for each player. That is something that I will say God damn. My bad, chat. I don't know what happened there. Like, the toy fell over and it hit the keyboard, and I guess I still have some of the hotkeys active. I am not 100% regretting my purchase of this particular toy, but I'm not super excited. So hold on, please. Also, the goddamn cord for my arcade stick, there's a little piece of Velcro that keeps sticking to my goddamn socks, and it's driving me insane. I can't, like, I keep moving it where it shouldn't be, and somehow I keep getting it stuck to my freaking socks, and it's driving me crazy. I don't know why this just started, because this thing has been plugged in for months. And all of a sudden, now it's a problem. Chat. Okay, honestly, chat, like, my chest hurts. Mostly because I ate a bag of Skittles earlier, because I felt my blood sugar going low, and that was a mistake. You know how many carbs are in a bag of Skittles, like your regular size bag of Skittles? 56. I know that probably doesn't mean anything to anyone out there except the diabetics, but that is just an extreme amount of carbs. Sorry. Anyway, what the hell is happening? We got a Blasto here? Okay, so we're going to let the game play, and we're going to talk about Karst's point, which is obviously the more important thing here. So we get Shove Sharks coming out, but Xylo as a map sucks. Full stop. And Xylo has always been a problem. I don't know who Karst was, like, subtweeting here, or if he was, but I don't think anyone has felt this was an okay map in 2 years. This map sucked the first time that somebody got Miss Moffat. Because from that point on, everybody knew it was about displacement, and it was always who had the most displacement or the better displacement. And then obviously when Akira came around, that started to become a problem. Like, this map has been terrible. Like, it's not new. I'm not saying that Karst was not saying that already, but it feels like, yeah, the hiccups. I don't know. I don't know if I'm reading too much into Karst's point, but anyway, yeah, there's no real viable way to push the heart here. And in fact, the heart positioning, due to what Karst is doing with Hevo 2.0, like, that's basically all you can do to fight these sort of things. Is if they foolishly cluster around their heart, you can boop the heart and then maybe get some kills. That's about it. I am of the opinion, don't fix maps that are bad. Just make a new map, retire the old map. I say that about Phobies too, but the reason that I really want to do that for maps, even more than Phobies, is so that we can point to say, hey, these are examples of bad maps. Now, that's not to say that we can't just keep the old iterations around, but, like, I think it would be fine to have, like, a Hall of Fame or whatever and send these things out to pasture, take them out behind the woodshed, however you want to look at it. Just get rid of them. There are maps in this game that just should no longer be in the game. Xylo is one of them. I don't think, and I am the first person to say that there are gameplay loops that are terrible, that some people love. That, like, we constantly talk about the stall setup and how it's awful. But the reality is that there are players out there that like it. The question is, should we cater to those players or just accept that they will be less happy due to the removal of these things? Things being the map, the phobies that encourage it, whatever. And I'm of the opinion, you know, we just have to consider it. Like, I don't know how many people prefer this style of gameplay where it's hyper grindy and methodical sort of thing. But realistically, well, this is only a 23-turn game. So it's not even a drawn-out game. So we really do need to focus on, well, what is the problem? What is the thing that we're trying to solve? What do we have an issue with? Okay, hold on. Bad guy could have gone like, well, the in here, it would have been like here. I'm trying to see if there was a pull available to bad guy here, because you could have moved up, move the Akira up, either Akira yoink or a tractor pull first, pull the Hevo in, and then maybe do something. Like, you might be able to kill the Hevo. I'm not sure. You might have been able to then boop the Blasto up to get some, but it really comes down to whether the Firkin would be able to connect with the Akira, which I don't think it could. But even then, Karst has 2 more yoinks, so you probably end up losing this and a tractor, and then you'd have to try and push from there. I don't know. But one thing I will say is even though this game is only 23 turns, so therefore it's not a quote-unquote long game. I'm sure it felt long, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. This game could have easily devolved into like an 80-turn game if the players decided to take that route. There's so many factors that go into judging whether... like, what is the root cause of a given problem? I have no idea why bad guy's doing this. Like, are they doing that because they think that that is safe? Because I promise you, bad guy, it's not. Like, why did they do that? They had a panic point advantage. They could have just waited for Karst to do something. Does this work? Okay, so the only thing I think they were trying to set up there was to pull the Blasto onto the stem somehow. But, like, I don't think there's any way that that could possibly work. That was weird. Yeah, bad guy had no reason to offer up the Ray Chargels there. They could have just sat back and then waited for Karst to expose something and then try and go. So it would be Karst exposes something, you kill it relatively trivially. Karst then counters with a big yoink. You counter yoink and then hope that you come out on top there. I love how literally nothing happened. That's why I'm saying that this game could have easily been like 80 turns. And it would have basically been the same game. Because all of these games devolve into... one player puts a toe out of line, that enables the opposing Akira to then blow up the world, and then the game ends on, like, in an instant, sort of thing. And, I don't know, I like the idea, like, it's just, it feels nice to me to, like, look, this is version 1.0 of this map. Don't bother changing it, just make a new one. And be like, nope, that's the old terrible map. Here's the new one. Does it really make a difference changing the old one versus creating a new one for something like a map? Probably not. It's not like there's no real life economy related to it as compared to the packs where creating a new phobie, there is an incentive for the devs to create a new phobie because then it's one more thing in a pack that you have to open. For a map, it doesn't matter. It just goes in rotation. But I do think, I would love if the devs, and I know that we've talked about this before, they manually curate the rotation. They've said so. So in that case, why do these maps show up? The only thing that makes sense to me is if they're in this big spreadsheet, again, that shows up and says, this is this type of map. You know, like, this is a slow pull-based map, a slow yoink-based map, or whatever, or a large yoink, slow, whatever. Like, the different combination of adjectives to describe the map type, right? As compared to a heart-rushy small map with whatever. Insert other adjectives. And then what they're doing is each rotation, and if I was paying more attention to the rotations, we could probably figure this out. Each rotation, they're choosing one from each of these categories. And eventually, they end up where, you know, you have to put Xylo back in, or some of these other, or the Onslaught, or heaven forbid, Agora. But I really think we have more than enough data, especially on maps like the one, not the Onslaught, although we have enough there, but like Xylo. We know what's wrong with the map. The devs know what's wrong with the map. There's no way that they're putting it out there with the idea of, oh, we're going to collect more data, because what if the community figures out this? Either it is what it is, or we as the community are never going to figure it out at this point. Like, if the devs have some secret to be like, oh, this is how you unlock the strategy on this map, that's not happening. It's never going to happen because we would have found it by now. I'm fine with just perma-retiring these maps. Permanent might be too strong of a word, because if we get new Phobies that somehow dramatic, you know, like, what if we get a new Shove Shark / Phantom? Not that literally do the movement thing, but they do something new that we don't have already that somehow opens up this map and changes how it plays. I don't know what the hell that would be, but hypothetically speaking, okay, fine. Bring the map back in. Maybe even bring it back in only after new Phobies, and maybe this is why they're doing it, just to give people the chance to see if Phantom or Shove Shark materially change things. But I'm also perfectly fine with these maps going away forever. This map sucks. There's no two ways about it. Could we fix it? Yeah. I don't feel like wasting the brain power to try and correct it. Just make a new map. I don't think there's anything on this particular map that's salvageable. That, like, we're going to have a big map that's kind of, like, diagonally focused with pretty protected hearts and gets dominated by yoinks. We don't need that. Just get rid of the damn thing. Who cares? I don't know if I have anything else to say about it, chat. Like, it's... If people have a counter argument and you can convince me... Like, I will listen to an argument of somebody who says, no, Xylo is the pinnacle of maps and we should keep it for a reason. All right, go ahead. Make your pitch. I will listen to it. I'm going to tell you you're wrong, but you can make your pitch. All right, game 2. We're back on Castaway. I guess we're going back to Monster of the Week. No, not really. It's Rosaldo. Oh my God, where is? Oh no. Okay, there are no notes. I looked at the line with karst like thesis on the previous game. Oh man, chat. All right, Rosaldo actually had literally no notes, so we're going in blind on this 30-turn game, which ironically enough was longer than the Xylo game we just watched, which is fascinating when you think about it. Just fascinating. Yeah, chat, I'm not sure I really like this figure. I think the figure is fine. If people care, we'll do a toy review of it. But, like, I'm kind of disappointed for what I paid for it. If I recall correctly, I think this was $60, and for like $60, I get way more from mainline stuff. Like, this was a Kickstarted toy, and there were other add-ons, but in order to get like all the other stuff, I would have to spend like $200. Like, I didn't want to do that. It's from a no-name company. I had no idea the quality. I had no idea of anything about it. It's just like, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. Wait, is that? Oh, no. There was like a piece of fuzz under it, and I thought there was like some other defect with it. Anyway, I was mumbling about the toy because, like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, what am I looking at, Rosaldo? We have no notes, and, like, there's nothing to go on, so I didn't... Bad guys building their flying V, their inverted flying V, I guess. I don't know. All right, we get into tractors. We're looking at a tractor, just putting it out there. You're interested in Phobies tournaments, hit up the Discord, link in the description, like and subscribe, all that stuff. I'm curious about people's thoughts about doing Monster of the Week D and having it at a, we'll say like 3 a.m., like between 1 and 3 a.m. Eastern daylight time, like Eastern U.S. seaboard. Because I don't know if that's a better time for all the people that say that they're struggling to make the times for the existing events. We'll see. Your game's not getting reviewed tonight. Depends on how far down the list it is, but it's possible. If you just put it in, if it's the one from today, no, that one is not happening. That is not, it's the last one, no. To be fair, there's a non-zero chance we get to it next week. It's not likely, because I usually do 10 a week, but It really depends on how many long games. Like, if we got a stream where it's like, yeah, we got 35 10 to 15 turn games. All right, we can bang those out. But if we keep getting 30, 40, 50 turn games, it takes a while. Real talk, what is happening? Rosaldo, what? All right, if you're in the comments, Rosaldo, you got what, 16 more turns to knock my socks off here? Because right now, I don't know what's happening. First of all, when was the last time you saw a muffin sacrifice like this? I do, like, nothing is happening. Well, I can see the beginnings. Clearly, this is going to be like a huge Baba Yaga play, right? That's the only thing. If this ends, like, okay, if this game went with Tooth Fairy just punching the heart. Actually, you know what? If bad guy left Tooth Fairy up there for 15 turns and Tooth Fairy just killed the heart and soloed it, that would actually be the funniest game we've ever seen. Far and away. Like, that would be far and away the funniest game we've ever seen, because it's just like, Jesus, what is happening? Oh my god. I'm telling you, there's going to be a third trap that goes down, then bad guy's going to advance and lose their whole team. That's what's going to happen here. 15 keys for bad guys, 16 for our hero, Rosaldo. 445 damage. What level is this goddamn Tooth Fairy? Oh, Brony. You know, people are coming around on the Brony. People are coming around on Brony. Are people coming around on Graylien? We saw one last night in Monster of the Week, but I feel like Graylien has really fallen off. Like, people have forgotten that this thing even exists. Chat, is Raucous the weirdest design in the game? Raucous might be the weirdest design in the game. To me, Raucous is up there with Squiggles. It's just so bizarre. Tell me you're gonna Graylien the Brony. Oh, baby. Did you just lose the Brony? This is a 7 key for 7 key trade. Like, this isn't... I guess this is alright. Oh, bad guy's making a move. Bad guy making moves. Chat, so far we got the Resident Sleeper games. Quagmire just slapping the snot out of Graylien, adding to its collection. Probably the penultimate Phobie is Hevo 2.0. Alright, a Gravedigger break, because sure. Alright, you got 9 more turns, Rosaldo. What is happening? That's a Rambo. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what could possibly happen from this board state right now. I was convinced it was the Baba Yaga traps and something was gonna blow up, but like, that doesn't seem to be true. I will say bad guys 100% forgotten where the traps are. I don't think I've seen that many blocks cleared on this map before. Every once in a while, we get one of those where somebody just hates every obstacle. And they're like, nope, I'm clearing the whole map. And apparently Bad Guy felt that way here on Castaway. Dude, what is going... If this game ends and just, like, Bad Guy surrenders or something, I feel like this is the biggest troll ever. All right, we're getting the expected rotation here because, I mean, what else are you going to do? You can't advance across the top. Either Rambo's going to get you or a tractor or both. Bomp. Really? All right. One trap goes off, gets a multi-hit. Sure. Ooh, the Raucous double kill. You love to see it. Alright, so I think what was getting demonstrated in this entire game was just the patient play of our hero. And just slowly grinding out your opponent. Finally some action. Sucky. I'm not late? No, you're late. Something like that. I was about to say, does this Hevo live? Yeah, this should be a relatively easy cleanup if you can get the erratic. Yeah, now that you have access to the stim, you should 100% be able to kill the erratic. And down goes Bad Guy. So, this kind of goes to the point we're making about Xylo, just in general, of... We felt that this was a boring game watching it, because everything kind of boiled down to those last few turns, right? The last 2 turns. But you can make an argument that this was probably a pretty tense game for the players. And it's fine that the game played out this way. Like, 30 turns isn't that long of a game. You know what I mean? Like, this game was perfectly acceptable. I mean, I don't know what Rosaldo wanted to highlight there in particular, because there wasn't necessarily, like, one, oh my god, I blew him out play. But, like, this sort of gameplay loop is fine. And it also goes to the point of... Because Karst and I have often debated about this, and it comes up a lot. But, like, we just saw the Akira game on Xylo. And that game was way faster than this one. I guess way might be a hyperbolization, but... We didn't have Akira. We did have a tractor in this. So it was a tractor slowing the game down. Kind of. But I would argue that Baba Yaga probably did more to slow the game down than a tractor did. I'm not sure. But either way, GG. I thought we had another one who didn't favor their game, but hordzz, in fact, can follow directions. Hordzz did, in fact, follow directions. Hordzz favorited their game, and Phantom Overkill is the notes. Who's paying me in Discord? What is this? Ah. I'm trying to set up an interview chat for Star Wars. Trying to set up an interview. It's going to be difficult to schedule given streaming and other events I have going on, but we got a turn 1 Phantom. Is that really what you wanted? Like, I don't know. I don't know about leading with Phantom. Phantom Crushmore, though. Okay, so, real talk. Is this opener legit? Because if you... Like, you could Phantom and get 2 hits with Crushmore probably safely on whatever. It would have to be the cat, because you're not going to kill this. Because you can move up with Phantom and then teleport the Crushmore. You would still be down 4-1 panic points, but you can remove some pieces from your opponent's board, and you're probably not going to be ready to like do a blowout Phantom before 3 turns from now anyway. You know, because you're just not going to have the board set up to do it. That is bizarre Shove Shark positioning. Alright, so our hero here elected to not burn the Phantom yet. This is a dead attractor, right? 1,011... Should be 1160. Am I miscounting? It's 1,000 and then 160. This is a dead attractor, right? Or you can just kill it that way. That works too! It's not dead, though. Well, it is dead now. Bomp. Here's a Hevo in your lap. Someone went turn 1 Phantom, turn 2 Shove Shark as player 2 versus me on Magnificent. And they put Glob right on the middle of the map. How did that work out for him, DT? I feel like that's too slow. It killed all my stuff with Kaboom later. So the opener was not great, but I mean, they Phantomed a Kaboom into your team. Phantom is weird to me because a lot of us were concerned with Akira, right? And I can't believe I'm saying this, but it did take convincing some people that Akira was a problem. But many people were concerned with Akira, old Akira. So old Akira is a problem, or we feel it's a problem. And a lot of people, myself included, said that giving it a longer warm-up or something was not sufficient. You needed to deal with the range or rework it completely or whatever. That turned out to not be true. Akira is still very powerful, but it does change the math dramatically that you need to wait an additional turn. Okay, so here's the question. Is that a viable solution for Phantom? Longer cooldown, longer warm-up, or something like that? I know, because again, people are suggesting all kinds of stuff about, like, you can't get things that are right out of the vault, you can't resets cooldowns for things out of the vault, stuff like that. But is that actually necessary? Also, lol Mildred? Bad guy, no. Is this live? No! Oh my god, are you kidding me right now? Is this really happening? Wait, what? Oh, you're gonna roll it back. You're gonna roll it back. I was like, wait a minute, you didn't miss this play, hordzz, did you? Oh my... Wait, what? No! No! I mean, alright. Alright, look. The Mildred might not have actually been good here. Because, like, you probably aren't going to kill everything. But it would have been so much better. It would have been so much better to Phantom the Mildred and then just Mildred their entire team. It would have been so much funnier. It would have been so much fun. I will admit it's probably not as good as what hordzz just did. It's probably not as good as what hordzz just did, because you would have lost the Mildred to the counter spider pole. And I guess you just get bad. Bad guy goes, oh, you couldn't Mildred last turn? Don't worry. I got you. Why? Explain. Someone learn me some phobies. Why did this just happen? Is bad guy just surrendering? Wait, what did you hit? Oh, they must have hit the Thunder Rocks? That's so weird, because that feels like that turn could have been way more explosive. Not like it matters, because Hero has won at this point. Hero has won at this point. Wait, why did that obstacle have to die? Why did that happen? Oh my god. We're getting some very, like, well-played games from our heroes. Last 3 games. Very well played. Minimal mistakes, but certainly not the flashiness that we've grown accustomed to. But you don't get extra points for winning in style. Or do you? I don't know how the ladder works, really. Maybe you do. Although Raucous and Squiggles might be, like, the most deranged designs, Mildred is up there. Definitely one of the more bizarre designs. GG. GG. Oh, hiccups. There is that. Yeah, I was really disappointed when the Mildred didn't get phantomed in there. I thought that was going to be the phantom overkill. Real talk, I don't know how... Like, that turn 1 phantom didn't look terrible. It didn't look terrible. Bronze Elf. You still get one of these. Even though the game is still undercooked, you still get one of these. Favorite your games, people. We're going all the way back to Never Forever. This feels like it hasn't been in the map pool forever. Ice beats fire. I don't know if that's how that works. I don't think that's how it works in Pokemon. Is it? I honestly don't know what the relationship between ice and fire in Pokemon is. Because you can make an argument that... I think it's fire beats ice in Pokemon. I think. Where are my Pokemon people at? I did have a weird moment yesterday where I overheard somebody... Like, they were kind of, like, tangentially talking to, like, the area. Like, people that were just kind of milling around, and I happened to be standing... That's a Cerberus. What? The hell are the notes for this? I just realized I didn't read them. Oh, yeah, it was Ice Beats Fire. That's how we got on this topic. But anyway, the guy says something about, like, oh, yeah, I started playing Pokemon and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I love competitive Pokemon TCG. And the guy's... But I don't think the guy heard me. He's like, oh, I'll show you my team. And he shows me a VGC team, and I'm like, oh, I meant the card game. He's like, oh, I meant the video game. I'm like, well, this is awkward. Kind of like what this Cerberus is doing, staring down the honorary good boy. Really? Do you really need 2 boops? Like, was that really what you needed to do, bad guy? Are you sure? Because I'm not as confident as you. Also, can we get a Slammerhead palette swap as a new Phobie? That'd be pretty dope. I bet it'll be a disease Phobie. I don't know why, but I get the sense it will be. Alright, so we're going to trade 1 keys a little bit. We get a little Honey Bear action. Scooting on up thanks to the conveyors. Bad guy maxing out and going, I immediately regret this decision. Maybe because of the patterns it has, it could be a purple and green version. For Slammerhead? Where does it... I honestly don't know where you're getting purple and green from. Like, it's pink and white now. How does that become purple and green? Oh, the aggressive Cerberus play into 11 keys. Admittedly, bad guy only has 1 Phobie slot, so... That's a Yeti. Oh, man. I hate that I'm so tired right now, chat, because I could have slept in for like another hour and a half, but I woke up and I was laying in bed and like I just couldn't fall asleep or fall back asleep. I was gonna say, I don't think that Yeti's far enough back yet. Alright, what does boss want to target here? It does have a plethora of options. I still have no clue why this Slammerhead is there. Just 2 colors I think might be cool, no correlation. No correlation, and kind of just thought of the crab from Moana. Oh no! Sorry, I was reading... I'm looking at chat, hold on, I gotta I caught it out of the corner of my eye. Chat is distracting me. This is a pretty sick play from bad guy. That's a good heads-up play. That's a free... Well, it's not free 6 keys, because you're going to lose the Finnegan and the Snowball, but... It's an alright trade. But we do get the freeze on boss. Bad guy opening themselves up to that particular play. Good boy goes down. Catfish claims the sharkfish. Just go with it, chat. Sharkfish is now a thing. Boop. Pop. Or if we're playing Mario Kart. Poomp. Why is that the thing on Mario Kart 64 when you jump the carts? It says poomp. What the hell kind of onomatopoeia is that? I don't think I've ever heard something make the sound poomp. That's just crazy talk. Slammerhead taking a beating. I was thinking there'd be kind of like a deep sea version where its colors are more darker and pattern glows. That would be kind of cool. I think there's a lot of visual things they could do. We have nothing resembling an anglerfish, right? The closest thing we have is like fish tank. Seriously, like, just harvest any kind of deep sea creatures. They're all horrifying and monstrous. That's a poisoned boss. Imagine just like 2 months ago saying that, oh yeah, well I froze boss and then poisoned it and I won the game. That's just insane, right? Admittedly, with the way this played out, it probably could have worked that way. 2 months ago. And you even got the honey bear puke in order to protect you from getting cooked. Get puked on, nerd. Bonk. I'm telling you, we don't really have flashy plays tonight so far, but we do have some very solid plays out of all of our heroes. You're fired. That was only for 374 damage. What level is this boss? I guess, yeah, it's only because the rest is in fire. It looked weird because the damage seemed low. I was about to say, freeze should be back up. Two freezes from Yeti. Somebody wake up Master Dark. I know Master Dark is more an ice cream person, but I feel like they were pushing for Yeti for a time as well, right? That jar immediately regretting all of its life decisions. As is boss, GG, Bronze Elf taking it down. Well played. Yeti as the counter. Ginger Gabe, what's good? silverK. Been playing recently. I was able to get some perfect positioning this game. Let's see what you got, silverK. Welcome back, I guess, silverK. Not sure if the notes there were implying a break. We've had a number of people. I always feel weird saying this because it's like, oh, well, lots of people are leaving the game, but that's not true. It's more just we've had lots of people lately, or a number of people saying that they were going to take a hiatus or some kind of break from the game, and that's fine. Like, it's healthy to do that. What's not healthy is to go ballistic every day and shriek at everyone in Discord. That's not a reference to anything at all. We're just talking generally. Broadly. Hypothetically. Theoretically. Couldn't possibly have happened. Alright, we get a little defensive posture here from Tooth Fairy. Trying to prevent a 5-2 panic point advantage, which will happen anyway. But silverK getting the positioning set up. Ray Chargels. What level is this at? I'm getting the sense this is low stress. Maybe. Maybe not. Ooh, I take it back. I stand corrected. Or sit, rather. Ooh, the canine body block to prevent the creep puke. This is the second tick we've seen in 2 days. Why does Tick have a mustache, though? I assume real-life ticks have some kind of either hairs or whatever on them, but, like, which of the artists decided that Tick has to have a mustache? Also, I don't actually know how many eyes a tick has. I'm presuming more than one. But I think the mustache is really what gets me. Why does Tick have a mustache? Interesting choosing not to claim the panic point. You can get Hevo, Maggie, actually, everything but Henrietta can collapse on that spot, so I kind of get it. But if they're advancing that far, they're all going to be clustered, and then you can just tick all of them, right? So wouldn't it have been okay to sacrifice the K9000, for example? Creepy Devil. We've been seeing a lot more Creepy Devil lately, too, which is interesting. I know Master Dark had tried it last night. In Monster of the Week. Beauty, taking a page out of a Markin's book. Now, odds are that Murderwing is not long for this world because it should die to poison unless it vastly outlevels the creep, which is, you know, kind of unlikely. Panic points well in our hero's favor at this stage. Is that bold positioning? That's actually probably pretty good positioning by the Creepy Devil. Like, what are the odds that bad guy wants to go there? The only one that would likely go there is Ray, but then that opens up Ray to disease, and odds are bad guy doesn't want that to happen. So we're going to get the backstab here, most likely. The question is, what is it going to target? Can we get a good Blom? Probably not. Not there. Yeah, we're just... I guess that does extra damage. You get the backstab. Creepy Devil taking him down. Must be for sensory purposes for what? I don't know. What, the mustache on Tick, I assume? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that... like, whatever hairs are on, assuming there are, on a real-life Tick, that is going to be why. You know, you use it as the animal to try and detect prey or predators due to vibrations and other things. But why does Tick and Phobies need a mustache? I wonder, like... does Tick look even creepier without the mustache? And they said, no, you know what? We need the mustache to make it less creepy. Ooh, Hevo 3.0 showing up. 9 keys to 7 remaining. This is still kind of anybody's game. Until that. That's a double kill there. Because he's a gentleman. Alright, we need... we need Tick in a tux. Artists out there, I know you're out there. We need Tick in a tux. You know, this is now going to be like that meme. If a dog wore pants, would it wear it this way or this way? Well, if Tick wore a tux, would he wear it this way or this way? Alligator? Bwom. Nothing else is really in range, though, right? Do soften up the Hevo. Ooh, actually, you get the shove. Snipe in the jar rather than take down the Hevo. All right. I mean, you're not going to take down the Hevo, but, you know, just damage it. I don't really understand the alligator. Like, why did that happen? Dude, if you kill this, I got bad news for you. I see Tick wearing a monocle, top hat, and twerking its mustache. Down goes Hevo. That was a very ineffective Hevo. All of a sudden, bad guys left with solely alligator. I assume you meant twirling their mustache rather than twerking their mustache. But, yes, we'll go with that. Twerking their mustache, I don't even know how that would work. Like, I don't think that works. I didn't realize how long the animation is for Creepy Devil's attack. It's kind of a long animation, which is important to keep in mind for Arena, but GG, silverK, well done. Well played. All right, a couple of hordzz games, so we'll move on to renamon. Okay, so I thought the notes, I looked at the wrong column, and I thought the notes were goo, but it's not. It's bad guy's name. Goal? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Yeah, sure. We'll find out. We're back on Never Forever somehow. Unless the mustache is a separate entity, not possible. Like, you just gotta want it bad enough. If you want a mustache to twerk, or for you to twerk a mustache, I feel like there has to be a requisite level of desire to enable that sort of scenario. To allow for that situation to occur, there has to be a requisite level of will. I played the newly buffed Arc Blitzer. It's so much fun against bugs. No, I actually haven't logged in like since I streamed it the other day. Another Slammerhead. I was about to point that out. Was this the meta? Did I miss this, chat? Okay, bad guy, come on. Well, I guess the cat is going to tank it, right? Okay, so this is fine. The cat's going to tank the trap. I want to say Slammerhead's underplayed, but I'm not really sure that it is. Is this a Twilight Zone? What the hell is... What the fuck? You know, if I did more editing on these, I would 100% edit in the Twilight Zone music right now. This is 2 games on Never Forever. And 2 games where we've had Finnegan Slammerhead. Why? renamon, enlighten me. Enlighten me, because I don't get it. Oh my god. All right, so our hero's slowly pushing out, pushing bad guy back. All right, we have sharks galore. It's turned into a goddamn aquarium in here. All we need is fish tank. Don't diss my boy Slammerhead. I want to like Slammerhead. Like, I really do. And there are positive qualities about it. It is a very tanky 4-key. It does have a boop. But it just never feels like it's doing enough. This is, honest to God, I think the first time that I've seen that block broken. What the What just happened? What the hell was that? It's like goddamn pinball. Dude, I can't... Bad guy. Like, you're telling me... What did they do? They attacked this twice? You're telling me you're gonna attack this twice? And you're not gonna kill it? What the fuck? What? What? Why? What? Why? Why did you do that? How are you... Would they have killed it otherwise? 590... Okay, so at least they wouldn't have killed it otherwise. So they hit the slammer head with the splash. They chose not to hit it directly. But they couldn't have killed it anyway. That, like, the pinball play was pretty dope. Like, that was pretty sick. The pinball. Yo, chat. Okay, real talk. Is this... What other maps could you conceivably do a pinball play like that on? What do you mean both sharks? There's 3. Admittedly, only 2 affect your opponent, but... Yeah, you get it. You get it. Also, what the hell is this Venus doing? Tell me this Venus is going hard. Be hilarious. Oh, okay. This is probably the only map where this is viable, right? Wait, could you do that? No, you could do this on Megalo. You could 100% do that on Megalo, right? I mean, realistically, your opponent has to cooperate to some degree, just like this, but... Dude, this slammer head lived. Slammerhead hanging on. Chat, we could get another pinball play here. Shove Shark should be up. We can pinball the Klepto. Show me the pinball. Alright, I guess you can do it that way. That's not as fun. Huh. I guess. You know, I really want this plan to be a thing. I want pinball to be the new thing that we scream about, like the heebie-jeebies special and yoinks and boops. Oh no, Renamon, not like this. Just letting their Venus... By the way, Renamon still has 9 keys. Lol. Mummy? Somebody wake up Gravedigger. Now that block from the Gravedigger makes even more sense. Dude, are you gonna get a mini-me out of this? No way! That is sick! That is so sick. Renamon with the plays, the big brain plays. I can't get over that pinball setup. Renamon, you're winning the highlight of the night so far. I love how derpy the mini-me's look. I want some sea folk phobies or a Kappa more water theme. Yeah, there's plenty of water themes they could do. I do not want... GG there, renamon. I don't want the Pokemon, it's just a fish that floats. I mean, you could do that, and I think there are ways to do it. Like, you could have an undead fish and have it, like, be a ghost fish. Like, does anybody remember Bubble Bobble from NES days? Because the enemy, well, there were a lot of enemies, but the one main monster in that game, there was a, like an enrage timer, essentially. Like, if you took too long to complete the level, then a ghost whale would come after you. And it was unkillable, and it would speed up the longer you took. So after, say, 2 minutes, the ghost whale shows up. I don't know what the timer is, but, like, after 2 minutes, ghost whale shows up, starts chasing you. If you don't complete the level, like, every 30 seconds or something, it gets 1.5 times faster or something. And it just gets faster and faster and faster until the point where it's almost like teleporting across the map and just one-shots you. You could have something like that as a fish, but I like the idea of sea folk phobies more, or other aquatic monsters more. I think the fish tank joke is fine once, but I don't want to see, like, 9 fish tanks, you know what I mean? Or other mechanized fish. Will Wuffalo is another one that's fine because you get a whale out of it, sort of, but even though it's not really a whale because it's the bug. But I don't want the Pokemon thing of just, like, there's a fish floating there. Like, that's kind of dumb. It's fine, like, once, but I don't want to see a bunch of phobies like that. All right, we got somebody new, I believe. LazyBones07, our hero here. My first submission... Well, there you go. No, my first submission in a hot minute. All right, so never mind. I was incorrect. My personal favorite point in the game is when I played Quagmire, where Spud then said, "Ruh-roh, Raggy," and ran for its potatoey life in the opposite direction. I've also been using Alien Engineer's strat of banking for a second wave to completely crush anything left on the board. Sorry for all the words. You know, what's funny is at least LazyBone put carriage returns in there, so it was easier. It kept all of the stuff in line in the spreadsheet, because otherwise the spreadsheet just is one long ass line, and it's very difficult to read when I'm trying to read the notes. But anyway. So our hero here electing to go with the, ironically, very much not the Alien Engineer strategy on this map. I guess the general Alien Engineer motif. But Alien Engineer's strat on this map in particular is a very specific one. Interestingly enough, featuring Spud. Or Petunia. Shout out to my Darkwing Duck fans. When are they going to bring that back, chat? I know they was in the new DuckTales, but, like, I want a dedicated Darkwing Duck. I'd like to see them... I want to see how they do the Fearsome 5. I'd also love to get some modern Darkwing Duck merch, like toys and stuff. I do have that Nega Duck, but honestly, I don't like that toy. I think I'm going to sell it. I might take, like, a couple more pictures and be like, yeah, it was nice to own, but I'm done with it now. I think the coolest thing is it has one of those giant cartoon Acme bombs, which is funny, and, like, the TNT thing with the big plunger. What is Squiggles doing there? I don't know. I'm at the point now with these games, especially tonight, where it's like, how could this possibly have been necessary? I'm getting more and more tired. What? Bad guy just did so many things. Here's the Snot Monster, the natural predator of the potato. It's not weevils or other insects, it's Snot Monsters, chat. Believe it or not. After the dust settles, the carnage on the lava. Slap. I was about to ask why you didn't kill the cat, and then it died on the lava. Fair enough. Microscopic. Snot kind of is the natural predator of microscopic. Like that's part of the purpose of mucus. I don't know if that's really a fun fact. Snowball cooking the bat. Was that what I used to call Murder Wing, was Murder Bat? Dude, this is the third tick in 2 days. This is where they've all been hiding. I'm not super excited about summer coming and all the ticks coming out of the woodwork, chat. I hate those things. They're yet another parasite that it's like... Are they really a crucial part of the ecosystem? Could we do without ticks? I feel like we might be able to. Whoa. Dude, I love the heebie-jeebies special into the pterodactyl, by the way. Unfortunately, can still disease them there. That is a really gross animation. Like, you can see the worms wiggling into them. You think Tick got invited to Vendy's party for the anniversary? So here's one thing I will say. You, Lazy Bones, you probably could have just sent everything heart at this point. You've locked your opponent out. They're maxed out. They have no more keys. I feel like the Gravedigger and the Pterodactyl could have just burned down the heart and everything else defend, and you would have been fine. I mean, either way, you're taking them out now, so I guess it doesn't really matter. This is hypothetically a lot of damage to stabby hits, Spud, and microscopic, but I presume our hero did the math. And bad guy's pretty much locked out of the game at this point. This game was over several turns ago. We can have a giant lobster that's standing slouched over because it's tall and uses its claws to attack. I mean, we got Clobster. Why not have a lobster? Or some other crustacean. There's a lot of horrifying sea life. Spud got healed so many times. It's true, but it begs the question, why? What is the stress level for this? I didn't really look at that. Alright, chat. We gotta lay off. Like, this is a low stress level game. I can't really fault Bad Guy for any of the things they're doing, because there's just a level of... Okay, so I'll expand upon this after this game is over, but I have some thoughts on just playing the game and experience in general. Our hero taking literally all of the panic points. Killing some Phobies on the way out. Because why not? GG. Well played, Lazy Bones. Well played. So, this quote has come up a lot over the last few days, but a Pokemon streamer that I follow, ZoolGG, it's for the Pokemon TCG, but this is applicable to pretty much any game right now, and probably ever. One of his quotes, and I'm paraphrasing a bit here, was that the people who play Pokemon TCG competitively generally do not play enough Pokemon to complain about the results they get. I forget the exact word-for-word quote, but it was essentially that. The idea being that if you don't play enough of the game, you just can't possibly be good enough to complain when you don't make top 8 or win an event or even do well. And in this case, on the ladder and stuff, the reason why I was thinking about it for that last game is quite clearly bad guy, as well as our hero, were very low stress level, and odds are they just haven't played enough games to be better at the game, which sounds axiomatic and kind of silly when you say it out loud. But it is true. If you don't do the thing enough, you don't even know what you don't know. And I'm finding that more and more true as I get involved with various games where it's like, oh, I screwed this up. Well, of course I screwed it up. I've only tested this matchup or only played this scenario or done the thing a dozen times. And like, that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. Like, there are people that play, we were looked at it the other night. Alien Engineer has like, how many games do they have? They have over 16,000 games. Now, admittedly, a bunch of those are like somebody surrendering, but like 16,000 games. There's a reason they're very good. And it's probably because they played 16,000 games. Think about that number. That is an absurd number. Like, that is an absolutely insane number when you think about it. You know, I was thinking I'm going to take a break in a few minutes. We'll get in a quick game before I take a break. So we'll do the quandavious game, and then I zone in, and it's 37 freaking turns. What happens if you build a whole team to kill one phobie? We'll see. We shall see. Truth about the, what I was saying about not playing enough games, Gabe? That's not your name, Gabe. I got some Taco Bell today, Chad, as I was coming back from the tournament. I didn't do as well as I would have liked in this one, but I definitely misplayed one game. One match. The other match, I don't think... And I think I only misplayed one game in that match. I think the other one was variance. Or not variance, but it was just like... I mean, I guess you could say it's variance, but it was just like... I don't think I had very many options there. The other matchup, I lost and just got bodied. Like... It was variance in the sense of the matchmaker. Yeah, the more stuff, the more you do stuff, the better you can be, Truth. Yes. So here's the thing, though. The saying generally is practice makes perfect, but that's not true. Practice makes permanent. So if you are practicing, air quotes. Okay, hold on. Okay, so there's no way to kill this jar. What you could do, quandavious here, was you kill the cat with your cat, then you move the gravedigger in and chop the jar. I don't know if that would be worth it, but it does push damage on the jar, and I don't think... This would have been 5... Wait, 1, 2, 3... No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You'll lose your gravedigger. Never mind. This is fine. This is fine. Because the snowball could come in to supplement jar and gravedigger hits and possibly kill your gravedigger. But yeah, just because you're practicing doesn't mean you're doing something valuable. You need to be practicing the right things. But in general, if you are of the appropriate mindset trying to improve, you should be... If you're doing the thing a lot, getting better, because you're constantly looking for ways to say, like, oh, this didn't work, so now I'm going to try this. And then, okay, that worked, so let's repeat it, make sure it works, and then now, and continuing. But it's very easy to fall into the trap of, oh, I played 1,000,000 games, I should be good. But if you do the same bad thing over and over and over again, it doesn't get you anywhere. Also... Speaking of doing the same bad, why is there another microscopic? Every time we watch viewer games, there will be some number of games that have these sort of things in it, where it's microscopic or gesundheit or some other phobie, that it's like, And it's another tick. Now, tick, like, I can get, but where have these been hiding? All of a sudden, they're showing up everywhere. Although I don't think tick is a very good answer to Chuck. But, like, you get these microscopics and things like it showing up, and I just don't understand what people's game plan is. Is this tick just dead? Okay, never mind. They moved it. Hear me out. What if we have a fisherman that just looks like a fish dressed as a fisherman? Just have the derpiest... Honestly, I could see that being a phobie. But you know what it'll have? It'll have Ted on the end of the fishing hook. Or, like, whatever's supposed to be the worm on the fishing hook is not going to be a worm. It'll be something else weird. Or maybe the fishing rod will be part of their... Like, their arms will be fishing rods or something like that. Like, you have to... Like, the Phobies team will make something really unhinged that way. I don't know what bad guy's plan here was. Other than lose their phobie. They've yet to commit something to the board that gives them any way to actually connect with Chuck. And right now, Chuck is just going to take them apart one by one. All right, we're building the team. I'm putting together a team for one last job to take down Chuck. Yep, well, I'm not taking that job, friend. Look at that man's halitosis. Here's the problem, like, what does bad guy do now? You're not going to get the tick to connect. Unless Quandavious allows it. Alright, we got a little heebie-jeebies action. Tell me this one pumpkin doesn't look like it just farted. It actually, it trusted the fart. It's just realizing it's a mistake right now. This pumpkin obstacle did not mean to trust that fart. It was a mistake. Getting some pot shots here. 7 keys for bad guys, 6 for our hero. Notably, our hero still has a phobie slot open. But to be honest, if I were bad guy, you kind of need to sacrifice the Gesundheit, I think. That's why Chuck has flies, the halitosis. I mean, it could also be that he's a walking corpse. He's actually several walking corpses. Shambling corpses. Rumbling corpses. And just remember that Chuck also has flies, so Conductor isn't the only one. True. It's interesting which ones were chosen to have flies. Like, why doesn't Gravedigger have any? Has the same, like, patchwork body. I don't think High Five has any, and High Five has the same halitosis, I think. Also, notably, if you look at Chuck's teeth, he doesn't appear to have, you know, like, all canines or something. Those are, like, all molars. Which is, like, what, like, does Chuck only eat salads? Like, is that what's happening right now? What is bad guy's plan here, for the record? I'm just talking about random shit. What is bad guy's plan? I'm putting together a team for one last job to fart around and never actually play the game. Hey, Tick can... Oh, Jesus. It didn't even do the disease thing. That's even funnier to me. Alright, we're gonna juice an ogre. Because reasons. Oh, no. Not like this. Honestly, at this point, you could probably let the Chuck get diseased and it wouldn't matter. I mean, it certainly won't if the tick has to advance to do it. That ogre just got annihilated. Oh my god, and the tick dies too. Somebody, call the police. Gotta report a murder. That's... Okay. Preventing bad guys escape. I thought the snowball was going to, like, recap the bottom point or something, but this is better. This way it forces bad guy to not, like, run away for 10 turns for no reason. That part's absolutely unnecessary, though. You don't need to hit the heart. GG. GG. Yeah. Sure. Why not? Alright, chat. I'm going to take a quick break. Put on a... Who's this person? This is new. Put on one of their games. Got any that are funny? Glob MVP? Shove Shark MVP. We'll put up the double kaboom. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Alright, chat. We're back. We are back. Let's see how many games we got left. Oh, look, an Akira mirror. That seems fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. So we got 3 more we can do. Skip Quandavious, skip Lazy Bones. Jeremy. You know, to be honest, just random, we almost got to your game tonight. There were a bunch of dupes in the middle that I didn't see initially. Alright, Jeremy is our next hero here. Oh god, on this map. I usually yap a lot here, but I think I'll let this game speak for itself. Alright, let's see what you got, Jeremy. Rocking the plaid avatar. From the phobies I've checked, Goon, High Five, Chuck, Conductor, and Creep have flies, but Bad Sushi that's all smelly doesn't. Wait, High Five does have flies? I don't think I've noticed it on Goon either. Creep sounds right. Creep sounds right. So that begs the question, Gravedigger is a stitched together phobie like those. Are there any other stitched together phobies that don't have flies? Like, what's unique about... Does Gravedigger wear deodorant? A man's rocking the antiperspirant to ensure that he smells fresh while he's hacking people to pieces? Or building his works of art? Or demolishing them, for that matter? These are the serious questions. Cerb doesn't either. Cerberus is also another stitched together. Maybe it's the bigger key undead? Yeah, but Goon is only 6. And Creep has it, and that's 2. I mean, that would have been logical, Gabe, but I don't... It's just funny, because, like, given how much attention to detail the Phobies art team has, it does feel like the fact that Gravedigger does not have flies is very intentional. Like, it's not, oh, they forgot, or, oh, they had to save on resources. Because maybe, like, the particle effects of if Creep, like, every single one of those phobies, so Goon, High Five, Chuck, Conductor, Creep, Gravedigger, Cerberus, and whatever, all being on the board at the same time, the little particle effects of the flies would have been too much and the game crashes or something. I feel like none of those are an option. I feel like they absolutely said, no, it does not need it. So, canonically, and Mildred doesn't have flies. It has cats. What the So this game does speak for itself. But the things it's saying are absolutely unhinged. Uramoshi, can Phantom pick up an enemy or not? Is this a D's nuts joke? I don't... I don't know what you're asking. Can it teleport an enemy? Yes. Are we trying to, like, philosophy class 101? Can God make a rock that's so heavy you can't pick it up? No, just curious, because so Heartbreaker can teleport an enemy unit. Phantom can teleport friendly units. Hitting them with the Mind Goblin. Yep. Yeah, Phantom moves friendlies, Heartbreaker moves enemies. Which is the whole... Like, they're supposed to be mirror images of each other. So it's the old Hydra Mildred plan. Oh my god, what? That is a very large 145. Kitty littering is in fact down. Maybe the ones that do are either more recent undead or they were exposed more to outside, and the rest, Bad Sushi doesn't because its body would have been in the water. I don't know. I mean, it's sushi, so that means it was food at some point, so it was out of the water, and seemingly was fished. Fished. Get it out of the garbage can. I actually like this play from Jeremy. If your opponent's going to go brony, make them turn off all their stuff, except it didn't work. Like, the thought was there. The thought was there. It's the thought that counts, chat. Sometimes, not really. Triple panic point advantage hero. Taking control of the enemy stim. I mean, even with Thunder Rocks, that's a lot of HP to chew through. Yeah, I was going to say, just put the Murder Wing on the panic point. Give them nothing. Take from them everything. Something like that. Alright, Attractor, yoink. Cooking the old stabby. Bad guy just doesn't have enough damage. We've had multiple Mildreds tonight. That's weird. That's weird. I think the games have gotten progressively more insane as the night has progressed. Okay, that's actually hilarious. Just the chomp noise. Okay, we can't actually see the damage right now, but 1278 plus 355. Go ahead. Go ahead, my mathematicians in chat. Hydra probably dies here. Oh, yeah. No, that is enough. Thought it was going to live. But that's a Mildred on a stim. Who is going to get targeted? It's the Attractor. Annihilated. No, go back. I want to see the number. 1633. We'll just skip back ahead. Hmm. You know what's weird? Mildred's mouth is sewn closed, but I'm pretty sure Mildred opens its mouth when it moves or something, doesn't it? Am I imagining that? Mildred on the stem. We can we watch closely. Like, does the Mildred body open its mouth? No, maybe not. I could have sworn it did. Maybe when it gets hit. Yeah, it opens it when it gets hit. Brony, one turn away. But that's too many turns if you're bad guy. The old Mildred Hydra strat. How could bad guy have not prepared for that? I mean, really. This is just amateur hour. Honestly, our hero kind of, like, barely got there. But GG. GG. Oh, my God. Absolutely deranged. And we got a great Ginger Gabe game up next. God. Alright, great Ginger Gabe on Exponential Decay. After rewatching game, I'm kind of surprised I won. Made some weird moves. Yeti versus Yeti. Appreciate your content, my good sir of any game. Keep it up. I appreciate that, Gabe. Appreciate you checking out the other non-Phobies content, too. Did you know that? If you're watching this on YouTube, I do have other content. It pops up if you subscribe. Well, it's supposed to, anyway. I don't know. The algorithm does what the algorithm does. I can't help it. I am always fascinated by what content people watch. Like, at this point, I'm pretty sure people only watch my stuff to use it as a podcast, just have it on in the background, because all the shorter stuff that I put a lot of effort into editing and things like that get way, way worse numbers than the things where it's just me rambling for like 4 hours straight. Which is weird, because it's like counter to everything everybody tells you to do on YouTube. Alright, so other than the Spud, which is weird, I mean, neither player went with a flyer on turn 1, but I can understand why our hero with Snowball did that. I'm a little surprised. Okay, so I'm a little surprised that you didn't go to pick the cat, because if you have the Snowball between your Gin Sting and the Panic Point, you're either then going to be able to kill the Spud or possibly the Gin Sting on the counter, because your Gin Sting will be in range and get 2 hits. And you're doing like 900, so these 800, maybe not their Gin Sting. I guess, okay, maybe that's fine, because then, like, you could beat up their Gin Sting, but you're not likely to kill it, depending on your follow-up. Like, you could have followed up and then tried to ensure that you could kill the Gin Sting, but either way, Rambolina's out there. And when you hear your voice, you can be saying gibberish, and I think people might rather listen to that. Apparently, I have a very soothing voice. I'm fun to fall asleep to, I've heard. I don't know whether that means I'm just boring, or it's the sultry baritone. The silky smooth. Poison Ivy. What? Alright, so new weird phobie art observation. The way that Rambolina's spines on their back bend does not look like it's supposed to be like a respiratory idle animation as Rambolina moves around and breathes and stuff while it's sitting there. You know, the spines would contract as the spine bends. But the way they contract makes it look like they can move on their own because it pulls back so far. So does Rambolina have prehensile spines? Poison Ivy's my boy, probably not the best for this map. I could see it working on this map, to be honest. If your opponent doesn't react to the Poison Ivy appropriately, I think Poison Ivy is one of those trappers that can take over a game, because you get a big burst of damage, and, of course, you get the poison damage, and if they don't prepare for the poison damage, that can clearly take its toll as well. It's one of the few poison phobies that does have value, in my opinion. Like, Noxious generally, let's put it this way. If Noxious didn't have the poison, it probably still would get played, just because it's a big AoE. The poison certainly helps, because an AoE poison makes life challenging, but I think Noxious as an AoE hit, in conjunction with Gonzo or Cupcake or whatever, has its own value. Poison Ivy, similarly, has its own value because of the way the interactions with things work. Namely, that you get that big burst of damage for a high trap hit, and then on top of it, it forces your opponent into doing other things. And right now, Bad Guy doesn't seem to be very interested in putting more mechs on the board. Or a Trapper of their own, or, hell, even a Doom Doom. Said their plan is to repel our hero somehow. Like, this just dies to the trap, doesn't it? Oop! Boop! Honestly, if that dies, the repeller's dead, isn't it? Could be dead. Because can't you, like, Jin Sting Snowball to kill repeller? We can Poison Ivy it to death. This Poison Ivy got a lot of value. Yes, this will die. You will probably lose the Jin Sting, but this invade isn't bad. It's not bad. I do like the AWOL threat. I think you probably want to reposition the Shove Shark, though. If you put it by the Hevo... Did the Shove Shark have to move to boop? I thought it was there already. If it had another action, I think it should be by the Hevo so that it could get involved this turn if needed. Bad Guy's taking the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Alright, so Cassowary goes to... Ooh, Yeti! Alistor Yeti, the classic. I've been waiting for this Rambolina to get like a savage boot, but I don't think it's happening. Alright, quick takedown there. Panic points remain in our... What? Alright, we get the counter. Our hero's advantage here is they do have a defrost mechanic, whereas Bad Guy does not, but the Alistor is kind of scary. Ooh, 4-1 panic point advantage. And that Alistor can float to, like, say, the Abyss tile and still engage. Get the shove. Alright, so we can get a takedown here on the Jin Stinger. We should be able to. Oh, you love to see it. Get him. So the issue here is... Oh, that's not terrible. They could freeze the Rambo, but then you can counter-freeze either the Alistor or the Klepto, depending on what they do. And then you can help thaw the Rambo, although that likely doesn't live... Like, it's not gonna... It's probably not worth trying to thaw it, to be honest. If they went for it, that is. But it looks like they're not going for it. Alright, so do you freeze the Yeti, the Klepto, or the Alistor? Shove Shark getting in there. Ready to mix it up. The body block? Wait, is this a kill? Can you kill the Klepto? That looks like a dead Klepto. You take that. They can freeze the Yeti. Because the Alistor can presumably kill the Muffin. Oh, wow. Can Alistor even be frozen over Abyss? I don't see why it wouldn't. You can freeze other flying phobies over Abyss tiles. I don't see why you couldn't do it with Alistor. Can't you? I'm pretty sure you can. This is so weird. There are 2 Yetis on the board, and nobody's frozen anything yet. But our hero appropriately blocking out their Yeti from getting frozen. Never knew you could. I knew over obstacle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I feel like we've seen that before, but now that you're asking, I'm questioning it. Like, I get that sometimes where somebody will say something, I'm like, yeah, that can happen. But then I second guess it because I don't... I can't recall the exact instance where we saw it. I could have sworn we've seen that. Somebody in chat will have to corroborate if it's true or not. This is a close one. But our hero does have their freeze available. Definitely can freeze Flyers on Abyss. I thought so. I'm glad we can confirm. Alright, so bad guy's just going to offer up their Yeti to be frozen, I guess. It is panic point advantage bad guy, but that doesn't matter. People keep complaining about them not instantly dying when it happens. I get it, but, like, there's gonna be some concessions to game mechanics. Just live with it. Just deal with it. Stop whining. GG. Well played, Gabe. Well played. Yeah, definitely some interesting Phobie choices that, I don't think Poison Ivy's bad on this map. I struggle to think of bad Poison Ivy maps because of the 2 movement. Poison Ivy, like, it's 2 movement and 2 trap range, and it's not that big of a key investment. I feel like Poison Ivy is an often slept on Phobie. I know people in chat here respect it, but I just don't see Poison Ivy a lot. I think it's a pretty solid Phobie. All right. Looking like probably our last game of the evening, chat. Let's look at a little pinapple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like if you're still here, just random, you're probably the 9th game for next week. Assuming no patch breaking. If I counted that correctly also. Alright, we're coming back to Ergo because viewers hate me. A little hydrate action. What do we got? We got a little Maggie. We got Rusty. The classic opener. We're returning to our roots, chat. Honest to God, I don't think I've ever seen this happen ever. Bad guy with the werewolf opener trying to do their best Potenzia impression. Awoo! Yo, the double good boy. Let's go. That's a bold move there, Cotton. Do you just surrender as bad guy here? I'm not trolling. Like, do you just surrender right now? I've seen Rusty into werewolf often enough, but never werewolf into Rusty. Yeah. Like... Why... A decision was made here, chat. Admittedly, our hero's giving up at least 3 keys here, because there's no way this Maggie lives, right? This Maggie has to die. And they're going to give up a bunch of hard health, but they do have a triple panic point advantage for the time being. We're going to let the Maggie live? Huh. Okay. Okay. Num 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 num. Leap off the stem. I don't know that I love that leap off the stem. I guess this probably tanks it. No, because they can cook you. They can fireball and then run away, right? Wait, what? But now you die to the Maggie. So you're gonna trade? Also, this is a cool effect. We don't see that. Like, this happens all the time, but, like, you don't see the effect for very long. This is cool. Yeah, like, this Maggie at this point was kind of useless, so the trade here is perfectly acceptable. I'm pretty sure our hero is... So that's 5 for 3, 7. And I guess it takes another turn or something. Like, this does take a while to digest the werewolf, but... Alright, so now these two are dead. What is bad guy's plan? Like, what? You got the Finnegan that was clearly intended to... I am so confused. Why? Jesus, what level is it? Holy sh... Okay, I was trying to think... I didn't notice this. Holy crap. No wonder it took so long to digest. Dude, look at this. I was gonna say, like, wait, why didn't you more bees the murder wing? It would have killed the boom accidentally, and then you jar the murder wing. Which, to be honest, you probably still kill it if you put jar on the vault. So, like, you pop jar out on the vault, hit the murder wing twice, and more bees should be enough to kill it, even though it's level 20. But, which I think is better. And then you just leave them with the Finnegan on the board. It takes a while to digest a werewolf. That werewolf meat can be tough. Alright, your Hematic is getting the crap knocked out of it. I'm gonna glob on forward. That is, in fact, a dead Finnegan. I kind of appreciate the bait here, because like, it is possible, most likely, for them to kill these things. How's bad guy gonna... Wait, what? What? If you're going to go for this and allow your Klepto to get globbed, why would you... Oh, Meatball was down. Never mind. Meatball was down. I was going to say... But even then, like, why do you not kill the Jinn Sting? I don't know. It seems weird. The Klepto is just dead. Wait, what? Okay, we more bees now. Alright, this is fine. Get the heal. Now the murder wing can't do anything. 3 keys to 4. This glob, putting in work. Glob was putting in work. Speaking of poison ivy, why are you here? I don't know what this poison ivy's doing here. Well, if you were worried about beating levels, here you go. This is a showcase in it. Poison Ivy to Clinico, of course. Clearly, we can't understand the genius that is this play. There's like one hair sticking out over here, chat. I think it's the gray hair. I don't know what the hell I just witnessed. What the hell did I just watch, chat? GG, Pinapple. GG. I didn't read the notes, but it was my first successful game with Glob despite the level difference. I came out on top. Yes, you did. You, in fact, did. That is our 10 games for the week, chat. What are their stress levels? 81 to 123. Our hero was 81. For a 9, generally, like across that game, it was a 9 phobie level difference in between. Which is wild. Well played there, Pinapple. What now? Well, I'm going to close up. That's going to do it for these viewer games. If you want to submit your own games, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. Link is in the description. Likes and subscribes. All that fun stuff. We'll be back tomorrow for variety. Next week is going to be a modified schedule. But as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random Thoughts. Brand new glob? True. Yeah, I switched scenes so that way I could cut it. I don't know, chat. Hang out for a couple minutes. I don't want to do any more reviews. I'm tired. I just got this guy. Like I said, I'm not super excited about this guy right now. Like, he doesn't... I need to... It's funny that the box actually said, like, hey, the joints are going to get tighter while they're in... While it's been sitting in the box waiting shipment. So you got to hit it with the hairdryer to loosen them up a little bit so that you don't snap something off. The Kickstarter looked really cool, but the toy just feels very basic for the most part. Like, it seems constructed well, but I don't know. Gotta mess around with it some more. I think the other dinosaur ones that I've seen are a little bit cooler. I might get those eventually. I can't be buying everything I want. I wish I could, but I can't. Wish I could, but I can't. Stop leaking the new Phobie. Somebody asked in Discord the other day, like, they ping the devs and ask the devs and are like, can we get any new leaks? Obviously, they intended previews. Because I'm sure this is a translation thing, but, like, there's a difference between a leak and a preview or a sneak peek. If the devs are doing it, it's not a leak. Like, a leak is an unintended release of information or assets or whatever. And if the devs are doing it, it clearly is intentional. I do think that the Phobies team needs to do more promotional stuff. I do like that they gave the content affiliates, again, Phobies, but I think they need to give it to us ahead of time, which I don't think logistically could happen. Or, like, let us in on stuff kind of thing. Like, we need to do previews and hype to lead up to the releases of things. And maybe tell us about, like, when the other stuff is releasing. Like Plaid. I found out Plaid was coming out when everybody else did, which is like... It's not the end of the world, but I could do a video ahead of time to, like, get people excited sort of thing. As opposed to everybody looking at it and be like, spoiler season stuff. I hate spoiler season, but most people love it. And I think it would be good for the game to do that. I don't know why they don't. So, for example, in other games that I've been affiliated with, they would give affiliates access to, like, the test environment. So I could say they gave me Collector, because they gave me Collector for this release. If they gave me Collector a month in advance, I could log into the test environment, even if it's just against bots, like try and engineer stuff and mess around with it, and then schedule. And here's the thing, you need to let me know, like, a month in advance, so that way, because it's going to take me time to mess around with it, set things up, and then edit the video and talk about it, and you want it to come out before the event does. So I need to know about it like way early kind of thing. And that's the problem. If they give it to me the week before, there's just not enough time in most cases to do something super cool with it. It's difficult to engineer those scenarios or even explore it. At least in my opinion. We talked about that the other night. Like, Phobies needs more marketing. They need both for internal existing players for retention as well as new people. 8 that I know because it ruins the excitement, but I love it because I want to see what else gets added and how it'll change the game. They don't have to show everything. So, like, it depends on what they want to release. You know what I mean? If we assume, like, the regular 8 to 10 Phobies, or the maps, things like that, like, if we were the conveyor tile, if they didn't want to show the maps, but they told us that the content affiliates do it, like, they gave me preview conveyor tiles, and then I did a 10-minute video just talking about all the possibilities. People are going to get excited and talk about it, even if they don't show the map where it is, so we can truly assess how it's going to work. And of course, we wouldn't have played on it, so you wouldn't really know how it's going to work. And then for the other ones, the actual Phobies, you don't have, even if you know what's happening, it's very difficult to assess certain things. Like, we all knew Shove Shark and Phantom were going to be good, but, like, how good? We all kind of knew Collector was going to be hot garbage, but how bad? Even if they don't want anything spoiled, they could give you a preview of the card or something. You could do a prepared video as soon as it's released. Exactly. Like, even if they... What I would like to do is, like, the day of release a video, but I can't because I can't even begin until the stuff releases. Which, again, in client, in live, I don't think there's any way that they give me something. But if they gave it to me in test, I could at least mess around there and then release something. Now, there is the risk that, like, if they have other things that are for future releases but are already in tests, that I actually, like, in the true sense of the word, leak something that I'm not supposed to. But that's what NDAs are for. Or maybe they force me to, like, I'll upload it unlisted and they have to watch it first to make sure that there's nothing in it that they don't want or something like that. Like, there's clearly ways to do this. It doesn't have to be a big project or more of a project than it is. I'm trying to think of other ways, like, things I can suggest. And I've told them this many times. I still think they need to get, like, Hikaru or Gotham Chess or some other big chess person to do a sponsored stream. Like, pay them. Just pay them. I promise, if you give them, like, $1,000, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they won't for that. But, like, just say, hey, for $1,000, will you play our fucking game? We'll set up an account for you. We'll give you a bunch of shit. Play our game. And then just stream it. Like, I feel like that's, if they can get somebody to do it for that price or a similar price or something, that is their best bet for hitting new people that probably have a lot of crossover. That's just me. I mean, they can't give them coffee because they probably don't care. And to be honest, after they do the stream, I wouldn't be surprised if they never touch the game again. They may not even like it. But I think that the idea is to get more eyeballs on it. And a content affiliate like me is only preaching to existing people at this point. Phobies is my main game, so most people are here for Phobies. They already know about Phobies. You need people who are outside the Phobies ecosystem to see this, to then bring them in. And I think going after the chess crowd is probably the most likely. I mean, I guess you could talk to the Go crowd, but I don't know anything about the Go scene. Not like I know much about chess, but you need something like that. You need something like that. I don't think like the Facebook posts and like Facebook ads and stuff like that are going to do very well. It certainly can. I mean, I see Hearthstone ads, or I used to until I got an ad blocker. Like, you would see Hearthstone ads on random sites just because they are tangentially related to things that I've watched videos on or whatever else they harvested metadata from. I don't know. If I had the answers, I'd probably be making a lot of money as a consultant in gaming instead of what I do. It'd be a much more fun job than what I do in real life now. But it is what it is. This time I am really going to sign off, chat. We'll be back tomorrow, or at least that's the game plan. I don't know what we're going to be playing. Probably Cards and Castles. I'm open to suggestions. I haven't touched Helldivers in a few days. I don't know if I need to sign up for a PSN account yet. I'm kind of hoping that it blows over and like they recant on that, but we'll see. Were you going to ask what game am I going to be streaming? Yeah, I don't know. It'll probably be Cards and Castles. I kind of want to do Pokemon. That'll set off Atona. Because Atona loves to complain about Pokemon. I actually almost want to stream Star Wars Unlimited. Because there is a we'll call it unofficial digital client right now. It's I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. We'll put it that way. I am not an affiliate for that game. Dredge, though. Oh, I do need to play Dredge. I gotta think about it. Let me know in Discord what you guys want to see, chat. I do have a financial interest in playing more Cards and Castles. I'm not saying that I do want to play that game. Like, I am enjoying it, but there is also an additional financial incentive for playing it. People using my code gives me dollars. So, but I'm not going to be making millions off of this. So, taking a night off to play Dredge or something else is fine. You got to think about that. All right, chap. I'm going to head out. Let me know in Discord what you want to see. That's going to do it for tonight. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.